This is TechCrunch. Developers hate marketing, but especially bad marketing, yet they still need a way to find useful tools and services. That's why you'll find a preponderance of developers on forums and sites like Hacker News, Reddit, and Stack Overflow discussing their dev kits and why some tools are better than others. That buying intent is the signal that Israeli startup Onfire wants to help software vendors capture. The company monitors public forums to learn what tools devs are discussing, and then uses AI to identify which companies those commenters work with and who the decision makers there are. The platform also layers in data on budget cycles and puts it all together to help B2B sales teams time and contextualize their outreach. Onfire is now coming out of stealth with $20 million in funding, TechCrunch has learned exclusively. This includes a fresh $14 million Series A co-led by Israeli VC firms Grove Ventures and TLV Partners. InVenture, the venture arm of Japan's Sumitomo Corporation, also participated, as did Lumitech 77, a special fund marking Israel's 77th anniversary. Like many other Israeli founders and VCs, Onfire's CEO Tal Peretz, CTO Shahar Shavet, and CPO Nitzan Hada are alumni of the Israel Defense Forces Unit 8200, an intelligence unit akin to the NSA that both won awards and sparked controversy for its alleged mass surveillance of civilians using advanced AI and data tools. After joining the private tech sector, the trio saw the opportunity to use their intelligence expertise in SaaS. The startup estimates it has driven more than $50 million in closed deals for its clients since its beta launch 12 months ago, and says its early users include ActiveFence, Avon, Port, and SpectroCloud, as well as other companies selling data, cybersecurity, FinOps, and observability solutions to technical buyers. Still, one cannot ignore the elephant in the room. Given the founder's intelligence background, Onfire's trawling of public data to identify commenters' employers is sure to raise some eyebrows. But the company frames the startup's outcomes as a win-win, saying, "Our customers are happy, and by the way, even their prospects are happy because people pitch them with the right things at the right time." The company hopes its vertical, data-centric focus will give it an edge over competitors, while other AI-enabled tools promise to boost enterprise sales. Peretz says one cannot do personalized outreach without something to base it off. According to Grove managing partner Lotan Levkowitz, Onfire is filling a gap that the venture firm had identified before it met the founders. Software infrastructure companies are not leveraging AI in their go-to-market strategy. Onfire comes at a time when companies are facing challenges leveraging only product-led growth for enterprise sales. Some in the industry think a new data layer is now necessary to support GTM teams, and Grove had already come to that conclusion when it connected with Onfire. Levkowitz helped Onfire connect with companies his team had met while developing that thesis. Peretz told TechCrunch, "Before we wrote a single line of code, we interviewed around 275 revenue leaders in the IT space. The co-founders found that most companies were still deriving the majority of their revenue from direct sales efforts. But the adoption of AI tools was changing things. They learned that buyers could benefit from using AI-based contextual tools to do more with less." But CISOs, CTOs, and engineering teams, traditionally considered tough buyers, now have to filter out more noise than ever, thanks to AI tools that enable mass outreach, and context could help salespeople here. Peretz stressed that Onfire's solution is also about mapping signals to the context of a customer. For example, you'd need a different approach to sell a data solution to a large organization compared to a cybersecurity solution. Levkowitz says this is particularly interesting as it means that with every customer Onfire has, the data set is actually getting better and better. That compounding data layer is what Onfire considers its moat to defend against CRM incumbents like Salesforce, and HubSpot. He said this verticalized approach enables them to have a very unique value proposition for those go-to-market teams of software infrastructure companies. Peretz said the startup plans to use its new funding to make hires in AI, R&D, and sales. Its core AI system is built in Israel, where 60% of the team is based, but the go-to-market machine is based in New York, as the startup expects the U.S. to be one of its main markets. Mercor, which connects AI labs with domain experts for training their foundational AI models, has raised $350 million at a $10 billion valuation. That has been confirmed to TechCrunch by the company. Felicis Ventures, which led the company's previous $100 million Series B at a $2 billion valuation, is also leading the round. Existing investors Benchmark and General Catalyst and new investor Robinhood Ventures also participated. TechCrunch reported back in September that Mercor was in talks with investors to raise a Series C at a valuation of $10 billion, up from its target of $8 billion a few months prior. The company, at the time, told potential investors that it already had multiple offers. Mercor started off as an AI-driven hiring platform, but quickly pivoted to providing companies with specialized domain experts to perform AI model training, such as scientists, doctors, and lawyers, and charging an hourly finder's fee and matching rate for their work. The company has also been adding more software infrastructure for reinforcement learning, a training method where a model's or agent's decisions are verified or disputed, enabling it to incorporate feedback and improve over time. The company intends to eventually build an AI-powered recruiting marketplace. Mercor's fortunes rose after leading AI labs like OpenAI and Google DeepMind reportedly cut ties with data labeling startup Scale AI after Meta invested $14 billion in the data vendor and hired its CEO. The company apparently told investors that it is on track to hit $500 million in ARR faster than AnySphere, the startup behind Cursor, which famously hit the milestone roughly a year after launching its core product. The company said that since we founded Mercor almost 3 years ago, AI has advanced at an astonishing pace, but it still struggles with the subtleties that drive economically valuable work, balancing trade-offs, understanding intent, developing taste, and deciding what should be done, not just what can be done. The startup says it currently pays more than $1.5 million per day to its contractors. It has more than 30,000 experts on its roster, who it pays over $85 per hour on average. Mercor said it will focus on 3 areas: expanding its talent network, improving its systems for matching its contractors with clients, and building new products to automate more of its processes. That's it from TechCrunch. For more stories like these, check out TechCrunch.com.